Hello, my name is Dr. Maya Byfield. My business is The Phenomenal STEMist. I'm so excited to be here in Orange County because it's where I live. I live in Apopka, Florida. And I decided to make this business because I saw a need for underrepresented students to be successful in STEM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, math. And the best way I can do that is just provide products for parents to prepare them, whether it's a book or online STEM camps or just video podcasting. My goal is to transform this community, especially those who are underrepresented. And the way to do that is to help parents understand their children's minds and basically develop them at different stages of their lives to be prepared for a successful STEM career. Thank you so much. That's why I'm here. Hey, 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 it's
Hey,
the
hey,
phenomenal.
hey, everybody.
What's going on, you guys?
I'm loving the hair.
I've been having my natural for like over a month.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess what I think I had it natural the last time we spoke. I can't remember.
I
I'm
can't
getting
remember
it.
either.
I'm getting braided on Thursday though, so I can do it, but for so long. I usually do it.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
thanks.
we gotta get the protective hairstyle going, okay? Yes, I
Protective
understand that.
style going. That's how it stays healthy for
Yep.
sure, for sure, for sure. Look at us doing black women talk before we start
Hey,
helping out.
listen. There was a time when we couldn't. Now
Yeah,
we can't, and it's okay. It's acceptable, and we're doing this for all the ones who are gonna come after us, letting them know it's okay to be your authentic self.
absolutely. I love it.
Yes.
And that's why I love you, June. Be your authentic
Be your
self.
authentic self.
Yeah,
I wish I had learned that a long time ago, but I guess it was not. I mean, people said it, but I don't know if they really meant it, and I
yeah,
don't know if I really believed it that I
right.
could be my authentic self. But it's
Yeah.
a different era. The younger generation than us, they are like they're like, hey, this is it, this is me, this is who I am. Yeah.
It's so critical. Before we start talking about artificial intelligence, because that's why we're here. We're gonna talk about it. We are guys. Don't worry. I was watching a podcast with Brene Brown, and she was saying, so if she would have told her younger 25-year-old self, actually put it on TikTok, so you
Oh, you
guys should
did?
check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, if she was talking, she would shake her younger 25-year-old self and say, "Listen,
Really?
listen, stop trying to people please. Be your authentic self. Not everybody's gonna like you, and actually, the longer you take to um be not be who you are, or please people, or try to get people to like you, the
Yeah.
further away from the actual purpose that you're made on earth to be, you will be from. And that's so critical. Like, literally, you are actually created to be for something, for a certain purpose, and a lot of your quirks and a lot of things about you is made for that. And the longer you try to take that away from yourself, the further you are from doing the thing you're supposed to
That
be
you were
doing.
supposed to be doing.
I was like, wow.
But no, that's powerful because I have had that experience, and just well, it's been an evolution, right? But at, I've always been kind of like, in the tech space, in the corporate world, as a Black female, from the Caribbean, all that parts of me that I try to, suppress, at least when I at work.
Right.
And I mean, I got to the point where I realized that, I played by the rules, and it didn't really uh, give me anything in return.
Yeah.
And so now I am playing by my rules,
Yeah.
and and the returns are much more. Like,
way more.
listen, like you and I were just talking. I was just appointed director of artificial intelligence
You
at the
you
start.
didn't let me do it. You didn't let me do it, June. Dr. Iona June Thiessen is the new director of artificial intelligence at Next Intelligence. Like, everybody, just give her a silent round of applause.
Yeah, and that's a testament to me playing by my rules.
Yeah,
I was doing my thing, and they came to me.
yeah.
And when they came to me, eh, but God, because the way these people are like, oh my God, you are just what we need. Your insight, your creativity, your approach, your background, your this. And I was like, you know what? I am all of that.
You the bomb, Doc. Listen. I've had an epiphany this week.
But
You
girl,
the
we don't.
bomb.com, girl.
Yeah, but it takes a lot for us to kind of acknowledge that, realize that, walk in that, accept
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm giving everyone permission tonight, especially young Black girls. Come on.
Be your authentic self.
Authentic self.
And the faster you do that, the faster you'll get your purpose.
Because you have so much to offer the world. You have so much in terms of your creativity and your gifts and your talents and your outlook and your approach. I mean, your unique, whatever it is, that's what the world needs. So don't hold back. Give it, do it, be it. Yeah.
the
So,
world needs you.
yeah,
You hear me, guys? The world needs you, exactly who you are.
exactly.
And if they don't need you, then that part of the world does not need you.
Exactly. Someone else does.
Someone, and it's okay. It's
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Tell yourself it's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Enough of that side stuff coming from the new director of artificial intelligence at Next Intelligence.
Listen, artificial intelligence, baby. Right?
Let's do it. We're going to be talking about the top jobs of artificial intelligence, because we've been talking a lot about technology. This is, I said for the whole quarter, listen, when I tell you guys I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do something.
You
hear
do.
me?
That's true.
That's one thing you can count on Maya Patrice Byfield. You don't even put the
Listen.
doctor. You don't even got to put the doctor in there, because I've been doing that since I've been
Before
teenager.
yeah, all
Okay. If I told you I'm gonna come every Monday for the last quarter, and this is the last day of Monday of the quarter. I told Delani that we would take Christmas off, so the Monday is Christmas. So he did
right.
a lot of we did a lot last Monday with the last Monday of November. But didn't I come with it, guys? Didn't I say I was coming with it?
Okay, cause
And my team came with me. I mean,
because
y'all have
of
been
you,
amazing.
trust me. I was like, it's Monday already?
It's third Monday already. You're not even
already?
and y'all ain't even doing it every month. I'm the one every
I know,
week.
it's just once a month, but it's still, I don't know. I mean, it's part of what we lack in terms of, I don't know. Your mom, your parents probably did a great job in instilling that discipline and that consistency within you. Not all of us were as privileged, okay? So
Yeah, for sure. Like I know what others can handle, and I know what I can handle, and I'm just appreciative that you have taken the time for these last. You did 4 months, and I really,
wow.
4 months. Yes, you did, June. This is the fourth.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
So hands up to you for
Yes.
really pulling
But you know
through
what?
with me.
That's what happens when you have accountability partners, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all need that. We all need that because, where I may lack the discipline, I have other things I can
Expertise. Absolutely. You got the expertise.
So yeah,
For
really
sure.
is helpful. All
All
right,
right.
let's talk about some jobs. These people need to go and figure out how to get there because there is money out there. Okay, this role that I have got, my new role with the company. There are startups out there who venture capitalists and investors are throwing money at.
Throwing money at.
Right,
And throwing money at.
and I'm like, you want to give me that? What? Okay, I'm gonna take it. No, but I prepared myself, right? I am qualified. I know that. I'm no doubt about that. And finally I get to be in a role where I get to do what I love. Follow my passions, well, not just what someone else do, and carry out my visions and stuff. Because sometimes you have the skills and the training and the ability, but you don't get the job that allows you to utilize that. So you find a role, it's close to what you want and it pays well, so you kind of stay there, but in your
It's
heart of
not. It's not.
hearts,
Yeah.
you
No, I want.
know
I want to really talk about you really quick before we get into this. I know you're like, come on, let's get with the money. But I invited every Sunday. Every first Sunday I do an interview of different types of STEMists. Remember,
Oh,
this is
okay.
phenomenal STEMist.
Mhm.
This Monday night is actually just a branch of my phenomenal STEMist. So M for mathematics, making money,
That's right.
right?
Make your money.
M for mathematics, making money Monday
Yeah,
nights.
yeah.
But on the first Sunday of the month, I just interview people from sciences. I talked to a old college colleague who she just linked up with me on LinkedIn. I said, "Oh, I would love to interview you," and she was like, "Me?" She has a bachelor's and master's in computer science, and
Wow.
she was like, "Me?
Oh my
Like, why would
God.
what? I don't think." I'm like, "What do you mean?" I said,
That's
"Do
the
you know?
unicorn. What, you crazy?
Do you know that?" I said, "How many African American females are in computer sciences?"
Exactly.
She was like, "Oh, I don't know. I guess I mean based on work and not a lot." I said, "Okay, 3%,
No,
three
that's the number.
percent,
3%. Wow.
3%." And
Okay.
then in leadership, this is where I'm talking about you.
Mm,
In leadership in
yeah.
places like Silicon Valley, when it comes to doing things that have to do with anything technology based,
Right.
you know
Oh
the
yeah.
number, June?
We are not.
Point 0.5%. So you as director of artificial
Wow.
intelligence at Nextelligence, you
Yeah.
are part of 0.5%.
Dang, I didn't know it was that.
I'm
It was
trying to
that.
let you know I'm trying to let you know how the bomb.com
Oh my gosh,
you
that's
are.
crazy. But you know what? You were saying something about the M, because growing up, I've always loved math, and math came easy for me. And I used to not want to say that because it sounds boastful, but it did.
Mhm,
I don't know. That was just how I was made up. And I couldn't understand why people struggled with math as
mhm.
much as they did, but everybody has their own
Thing, yeah.
things, right? So I always loved math, and so but you know in the Caribbean, if you're not wanting to be a doctor, you ain't got no profession. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right,
So I was
right.
pursuing that. Did undergraduate in biochemistry, and then listen, I'll tell you I worked for a while at Procter and Gamble in their research department, and then I got accepted into the grad school program, the PhD program at Wright State University. And it was a neuroscience, um, bio biomedical sciences with a neuroscience emphasis, and I
Right.
was there in the grad. I was the only black female. And looking back now, I crashed out. I
Mm.
had major imposter syndrome.
Imposter.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Listen, I was like, oh my God, I can't do it. And it wasn't, I mean, it was so fun. I would have literal panic attacks like the day before I'm supposed to present my research. I'd be up
Mm,
all night just feeling inadequate and all
mm.
this kind of stuff. And I didn't really have anyone who, like me, who had been through it. So nobody could really relate. And I
Yeah.
dropped out.
Yeah.
Full
Wow.
scholarship with tuition and everything. You know the deal.
Yeah, I had something similar, but I didn't drop out.
Exactly.
But I had the same track.
And
Yeah.
I got up to where I completed my all but dissertation. I, passed my comps and everything. And every day I was just like so stressed out. But self-sabotage, internal issues, lack
Yeah.
of self-worth, all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
I crashed out, because I I looking back, I wish that I had known people who could help me. But life happens. So
Yeah.
I went on to work, whatever, but there was always that thing in the back of my mind where, what, I
It
want
could have
to
been
get
better.
my
Yeah.
my terminal degree. So I go back into grad school now, and now I'm a in the epidemiology, public health. Not because one of the things I did not like about the neuroscience, and you probably can relate, working in the lab in the bottom under the basement with the animals and
Right. Right. I know exactly what you're talking about. I did my postdoc in neuroscience and I actually said 1 year and that's enough. I couldn't do it. I didn't like it. Yeah, I got my PhD in something else,
oh,
but
I
I was
see.
like,
Okay, I
but my
thought you did
postdoc in
PhD in
no, I did
neuroscience.
my postdoc in neuroscience. And
Uh,
I was like, nah, I
yeah.
totally get it. Totally get it.
So, but I'm sure there were ways I could have, because I'd never advocated for myself, or because they assigned me to this lab, and I could have said, what, can you find me another, that kind of all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
yeah. But you didn't have that
the
at
know-how.
the
So
time.
yeah. But it
Yeah.
worked out, because then I went back to do public health, and I found biostatistics, and I loved it. I loved it, loved it, loved it, because now it's math, it's quantitative
It
analysis,
fits. It
it
fits.
fits perfectly,
Yeah.
because even when I was in the neuroscience PhD, my friends who were there with me, they hated to do their data analysis. I was like, this just like, but I love that. So I was like, okay, and so I went back to biostatistics and completed my PhD in statistics, and then working as a statistician and teaching and consulting. And then that was just about the time when the whole field of data science was like, everybody was talking about data science and data science. So I decided, what, let me find out, because you're like me, we're lifelong learners, like we're always
Yeah.
trying to learn something new, right?
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
so that was when Coursera just came on, and this whole idea of the MOOCs. And so I was on Coursera killing it, because that time it was free. All the courses were
And
free.
there's still a lot of courses
There's
for,
still
like
a
for
lot of
data
courses that are
analysis,
free.
like that
That's
are
true.
free.
Yeah. So I mean, there were courses. I took courses from John Hopkins and Penn and all these Ivy League universities, right? Because when I was doing my research, we were using most of the tools, the GUI tools, so like Excel and SPSS and SAS and all that kind of stuff. So I never learned programming. So I decided to learn programming. So I took the courses on Coursera and learned code programming, and
Coding.
then started using that to do the data analysis, and that led to some machine learning, and then into artificial intelligence. And it was a long path, but here I am today, director of artificial intelligence.
She's giving you guys the cheat
So
code. I want you to know right now,
yeah,
y'all getting the cheat code before we start talking about jobs.
absolutely.
You're getting the cheat code. She dropped out of school. She was
Yep.
all the way in a PhD program and she dropped out. She couldn't handle it. It wasn't the right fit for her.
Yep.
But then she found her niche. She moved into biostatistics.
Yes.
She got her degree in her PhD in biostatistics. But then she had to still keep learning and keep up to date with things.
Exactly.
Did she go back to school and go pay for another degree? No, she
Nope.
didn't. She
I
got
took advantage.
of all the free programs out there. Free Code Camp is
Yeah.
it's still free.
Still free.
They do data analysis programs. They teach you how to code.
Everything
They
from
teach you
start to finish.
from
Like,
start to finish. So you go get a free program, get certified. So I shout out to my brother. My brother Ruach he got 2 certifications from Microsoft Azure.
Oh my God,
in
awesome.
networking, security, and such. Because
Yeah.
from his job is Skillsoft.
Oh,
There are a
they
lot of
sign
these,
up. They right. So a lot of companies will offer free training for the employees. So,
right?
and most people don't take advantage of it,
They don't take advantage of it. But shout out to my brother. He's listening.
Good for
He's
him. Good
listening.
for him.
He took advantage to get certifications in all of these types of programs, and I'm telling you, when you get certified, when you get training, and it does not have to require you to go back to school,
Nope.
you will be
In
ready. Because
fact,
a lot of these, let me tell you some in terms of artificial intelligence, most of these schools aren't ready for it.
yeah.
They don't even have
No. And
classes
it'll be a
for it.
while before they will be.
So you might as well just go and look for training programs online that are free.
Yeah.
Don't
In fact, I'm looking for this link because somebody on LinkedIn had shared a list of free artificial intelligence courses right that are available right now.
yeah.
And I think I saved it. I usually like send stuff to my husband if I want to save the link.
Right. So don't be an
Uh,
imposter. Don't feel afraid. Get
and
in
if
the
you do, it's
game.
okay. You know, you learn, you get
Okay.
up, you take your
Yeah.
whatever, and you go forward because that's what I did, right?
That's right.
Oh
That's
yeah,
right.
this is amazing, and I don't know where to put this right now, but let
You
me
can put it in the private
in
chat.
the private chat.
Yeah. Right now, I've just put up free code camp, code
Okay.
pen, code spaces. These are programs that we know offer free
Yeah, and
training.
this link that I just shared, it's a picture, but it tells you all the free courses, and all of these are at the Ivy Leagues: Yale, Michigan, University of Michigan, Vanderbilt, Harvard, Berkeley, and it's all free. And it's not just artificial intelligence, right? They have artificial intelligence, prompt engineering, and all that, but there's also personal finance, emotional intelligence, leadership and communication, all for the free.
All for the free. So I just put the link in the chat. I'll also, when I get off, I'll put the link in the YouTube bio. Do me a favor, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. What are the top
Oh,
10
and there's
AI
another,
jobs?
oh my God, just another list here. There's like so many
So many lists.
resources.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because
Yeah, just
I'm
keep.
gonna send this one to you,
All right.
and you can share it out later. But people have no excuses anymore. That's the thing, you know.
Just take. You need
Um,
discipline. That's what
yeah,
you need.
yeah, because I mean, I'm talking like 12, 15 years ago when but Coursera was just coming on it because they were trying, this whole new way of offering massive online something courses, MOOC. I forget what the other one says.
MOOCs. Yeah.
Yeah, the MOOCs. And so, I am like always trying to learn stuff. It's to my deficit because sometimes I sign up for courses that I don't finish, if you know what I mean.
That's okay.
But no, because it paid off, because I learned coding from there. I got my certificate from John Hopkins University in quantitative data analysis and all this kind of stuff. And man, that was the stuff that I put on my LinkedIn profile that made people reach out to me, offer jobs and all this kind of stuff. And that's how you kind of build your profile,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
right now it's more than just about your resume.
Right. It's more than just about your resume that
Yeah.
people can't see. It's your social media profile
Right.
that
It's
you
your
show your
profile.
certification.
It's showing what you know, what you can do, what you have done, and what you can bring, what you can offer to a company. And
Yeah.
when you do that, people are complaining how the job market is so hard. And I'm sure it is. But if you are doing your part in terms of building your skill set, putting
Skill set.
yourself out there, doing your part, they reach out to you. Because this job that I got, they reached out to me. I did not apply for it.
Skill set, y'all.
Exactly.
Skill set. Skill set. All right. So
So
let's the top 10 jobs in AI. I'm just going to read all 10 of them and then we could just start dialoguing.
Okay.
Machine learning engineer, deep learning engineer,
Mhm.
senior data scientist, computer vision engineer, data scientist, algorithm developer, junior data scientist. I keep hearing that. I keep hearing that word.
That's right.
Developer consultant, director of data science. Again, you see, hint, hint, lead data scientist. So I'm going to basically divide this into three things that I'm seeing in common.
Okay.
I'm seeing machine learning, deep learning, and computer vision engineers. So I
Right.
want to talk about what those things are.
Okay.
Then I see senior, junior, director, lead, data scientists. So data science, we talk about what data scientists do.
Right.
And then what's a developer, whether it be an algorithm or consultant developer.
Okay.
So let's just talk about those three things. So let's first start out with this concept of engineer, whether it be the machine learning engineer, deep learning engineer, or computer vision engineer. What are these engineers? What are they doing in artificial intelligence?
Yeah, so the engineers are the ones who write the algorithms or the formulas. So when it comes to artificial intelligence, there are different machine learning algorithms that you can use to um, model the data, right? So the most basic is, linear regression, then you have logistic regression, and then you can get into decision tree algorithms, support vector mechanism
Okay,
algorithm.
because I know what you're talking about, but
Right.
even I'm kind of confused. So I know I know those people out there like, well, what is an algorithm? What is that? So I need you to break that a little bit more. So like, what is linear progression? That's like having a lot of information, right?
Yes.
And then let's say I have 20 students in my class, 25
Mhm.
students in my class, and some of them get A's, some of them get B's, most of them get C's, some of them get D's, some of them
Right.
get F's, right?
Yep.
I take that data and I do an average.
Yeah.
And then I say, okay, that means the average got a 75 the class got a 75 average. Did everybody get a C? No. But some people got A, but most people got this. And I can extrapolate whether I was an effective at explaining the information to them.
Right.
um
Right.
that's using statistics, right? So how
Yeah.
do you connect the algorithm to that? Like, how do you
So you have the average is 1 point. So you've summarized all of that data down to 1 point, and that's the average. So you can say, based on that average, next year the students are probably going to have the same average. So now it's all in one group, and you're making these very rudimentary predictions. If you want to get uh, more subtle information, make a more rigorous prediction, then you start adding more factors. So instead of just the average now, you add other factors like maybe the gender of the students, you may add their background, you may add
their
whether,
how long, how many days they are attended.
yes, and all of that. And you put all that together and you form a formula, and that is the linear regression algorithm.
So you
So
make some kind of mathematical formula based on multiple different variables to even come up with a more robust prediction.
exactly.
I've Now it's clear. Now, now it's
Right. And so,
okay.
that's basic, right? Because you probably will have 10 features, 10 characteristics. But in the business world, you could have like 100 features of the customer or the client. You want to make a prediction about how much money they're going to spend or what they're going to buy or whether they're going to sign up for this service or not. So that's the kind of thing that these algorithms are trying to do.
And
And
the engineer is the creator of the algorithms.
exactly,
They're
right?
the creator of the actual some kind of product, but it's a
Yes.
mathematical
Yes,
product.
it's a formula, like a
Yeah.
formula, right? So the base formula, it's there, just like you have the formula for the straight line. Y is equal to mx plus b. Remember that?
Hmm.
Y is the outcome that you're trying to predict. X is that individual or the student or whatever. M is the factor that you're going to be multiplying it by, whether it's their age or their gender or whatever. And then, of course, B is the error term. So in that equation, Y is equal to MXB, you only have one factor.
Hmm.
In these formulas, you can have many factors. And that's where the computer comes in. So now instead of doing all this by hand, the computer is going to crunch all that data and come up with a formula. And the machine learning engineer is the one who is basically going to, prep the data and feed the data into the algorithm, observe the outcome, and then look and see if this is a good prediction model or not, if there are some things that need to be done to change it to improve the accuracy or the performance of the model, because your model will have an accuracy 70-80% of the time. It will make a good predictions. So other times it will not. That's the nature of modeling. But you as the engineer, there are things you can do to the model or to the data that can improve the performance of the algorithm.
Because the goal is for all businesses, let's say for healthcare, you know let's say you have procedures to be done, and you want to have procedures to be done quickly, effectively. You
Right.
want to make sure that different types of medications are brought on time.
Mhm.
You can look at all these variables, you implant these variables into a system, and
Yep.
it could lead to predictions that will make the whole hospital system more effective.
Exactly.
And you could do that for the airline industry. You could do that for the hospital. I mean, for the market industry,
Yes.
for the stock market, and this and that.
They
You see,
all are
and
using machine.
everybody in life is using it
Yep.
now.
Yep.
All these
Did
companies are
you
using it,
hear
and
the
they need to
term
hire people.
data-driven decision making? That's what they're talking about. Using the data to guide and influence the predictions, right? We within the hospital and the doctors, we still need their expertise, but they are guided. They can use the information from the data to help them make more reliable decisions. So they don't just rely on their intuition or their training, but because sometimes as humans we are fallible.
Make
But when you
errors.
have the data there, the data don't lie. So those are the kinds of things. And when it comes to things like in the finance industry, fintech as it's called, there's the data is so massive, like a human can't analyze that data. So that's why you need these machine
Computers.
learning algorithms, right? And
Right.
so you have the machine learning algorithms, you have the ones that are I want to say built on the more conventional algorithms, right? So that would be like the junior machine learning algorithm. But then you have the more advanced ones like the deep learning, where they're now using these systems that are made up of a collection of functions. So instead of just one function, it's a collection of functions arranged in an artificial neural network.
It's like it's you're making your own brain. They're creating their own brain.
Precisely. That's why it's called artificial neural network,
It's
because
like multiple neurons,
yes, they
multiple
modeled it
pathways.
after the arrangement of neurons in our brain. So that, because of all the layers in that, it's considered a deep learning.
Oh, because it's multiple layers versus machine
Yes,
learning was just one. Now you have multiple pathways, and
exactly.
therefore you can make even greater
Right.
predictions.
And you can analyze much more data,
It's
and
much
these
more.
models are much more robust in terms of you have to do less preparation to the data before you can put it into the model. These artificial neural networks are amazing. Like, the large language models are built on some of these artificial neural network or deep learning. But when you hear them talking about 100 billion parameters,
That's a lot. You can't do that with one person, but you could do that with a computer.
Right.
But what you could do is you could learn that. You could get a
Yes,
skill
yes,
set. You
because
get your skill set in deep learning. You
it
can
still
become a deep
requires
learning.
someone to learn how to run it, how to optimize it, how to
Right.
understand it, how to interpret it, how to
Right.
improve it. All of that still requires human input.
And a non-biased human input. We can't
Right.
have only one type of person doing these kind of jobs.
Yeah, that's a
We-
problem right now because
Okay. So guys, but it's going to require mathematics. This
yes,
is
yes,
algorithms going on. These are formulas. That
it's
means you have to
algorithm.
have
Yeah,
mathematics.
yeah.
So get your kids prepared in mathematics early,
Yes,
please,
yes.
because in order to be an engineer, you have to have a lot of mathematics.
You
That's
do,
just real.
and it's. I mean, I think when it comes to math, because I taught math in high school. Most of the times, the students have these mental blocks that were either instilled in them by their parents or by
Yeah.
their teachers.
Yes.
It's not
Yep.
natural to the kids. It's not natural to them, you know. So
Absolutely.
maybe the parents, you know, are like when they try to help them with the homework, it's a whole mess. Everybody gets all frustrated and
Emotional.
emotional and all this kind
Mhm.
of stuff.
Yep.
Or I know some elementary school teachers who are not, math is not their strong point, and you know, it's just the way it is. And you know, whenever
Yep.
it comes to math, there's this anxiety, and that's passed on to
It's past. It's so
students.
true.
So
It's so
and now
true
it's
what
like
you're
with this
saying.
whole what they call new math, or what, I don't even know what what it is. You know, there's a whole trauma like associated with it. And it doesn't have to be that way, right? You
Does it?
shared that video of the little baby,
Oh, I shared it everywhere. I shared it in LinkedIn. I shared it.
right?
That little 2-year-old doing multiplication. I said my joy was, I was just so happy
Right,
to see
because
it.
they taught him this is a game, it's fun, it's wonderful,
It's
you get to
fun.
have
It's great. Yay. Yep.
and
Yep.
that's how it should be. Yeah, unfortunately it's not, but it thinks it can. Now we have too many options, you know. If your child is struggling with math, there are options you can
Too many online. Khan
too many,
Academy.
too
No, I'm
many.
sorry.
No
No
excuse.
excuse. No excuse. No excuse. No, 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 no,
So
no.
you need to intervene now if that's the case, and give them the proper foundation that they need before, you know, they become adults, and then it's whatever. But you know, so
Please,
you have
please,
those
please.
models, you know, the one layer, then you have the deep layer, and then there's the next layer where it's about the computer vision algorithms, right? So this is the where you are using algorithms to help the computers be able to recognize images and videos and stuff, right? So that's
Mm,
the next level, right?
that's it.
Um,
And that is very difficult because but that will take it to the next level in terms of self-driving cars. The
yes, yes,
self-driving
yes,
car. I was
yes.
talking to a colleague who talks about some errors that can happen with self-driving cars. They
Mhm.
can predict. They say, okay, I see a man, don't swerve to the right
Right.
because you'll hit that man. Like the self-driving car uses these computer algorithms to know whether it's a man versus a toaster. But sometimes error can happen. They think it's
Exactly.
a
Because
toaster,
it's
or they think,
probability, it's
yeah,
statistics. So it's
yeah,
gonna say if you have if it's a low probability that it's a man, keep going. Like, but how low
right,
is low?
yeah,
So, you
yeah,
know, these are
yeah.
just the things that, you know, we have to think about. So
Or it can
and
get
then
hacked. You could hack into it and say, "Hey, they see the computer visualizes the stop sign there, and then but they change it to
exactly.
a yield sign, and so the computer vision doesn't know
And
that
that's
it's
a
not a stop
plug
sign."
for information security,
Cybersecurity.
cybersecurity. That's a big deal now with all of these algorithms and these machines. People are going to have to find a way to protect their systems, right? So they will need the cybersecurity, right? And
Yeah.
then the last one I want to talk about is the NLP, natural language processing. So that's another type of artificial intelligence, and that's the one where you use the algorithms, and it's a combination of computer science and machine learning and linguistics to help computers understand natural language.
Mm,
And so
mm.
it analyzes massive amounts of data and makes gets
Predictions.
builds a model of our language, then it's able to then generate, and that's where the large language models like ChatGPT and Bard and all these other. So all of these are based on machine learning algorithms, right?
Right,
And
that engineers create.
exactly, exactly.
All right. So what's a data scientist? So data scientist, um, there are all kinds of data scientists.
Right.
So just the top. So let's talk before the cost. A machine learning engineer gets paid $142,000 a year. A computer vision gets paid $126,000 a year.
Yeah.
So you see that's sick. Like they just off the bat. Okay.
Mhm.
So what? Now talk to me about data scientists.
So the data scientist, this is where you are you're collecting the data to conduct research. You know, they're developing hypotheses. There's some phenomenon that's going on. We don't know what it means, why it's coming, what's causing it. So we need to do some research, and we're going to use the data to do the research. So that's where you're collecting the data, you're processing the data, you are running the statistical analysis. So you're going to do your t-tests and your ANOVA and all of your parametric and
Interesting.
non-parametric kinds of tests and that kind of stuff. So that they do also do the modeling, but it's more from the point of trying to understand something, as opposed to the
Predict.
machine learning engineers. They're doing it, predicting, they're generating a model that's going to be running. So it's going to be running either in real time, streaming, making predictions. So for example, like Amazon, they have a model, a machine learning model running on their website all the time. So you buy something or you click on something, next thing you know, it says people who bought this also bought that.
They predict that because they predict that this is what you're looking for.
Right.
It's based on their neural network
Yes.
in
And
Amazon.
they're running in their system. So
Mhm.
the engineers are the ones who will be building that model. But then if say they want to, because people don't know this, but Amazon has a huge research department, and so they do, I mean, right now they're building robots and all kinds of stuff. So that's where the data scientists are involved. But if they feel like, right now Amazon is trying to find new ways of, increasing revenue and driving customer interaction and customer satisfaction and all these different things that they're exploring, that's where the data scientist is going to be.
So what I'm hearing is the engineer is creating algorithms that will create practical actions
Yes.
as to gain revenue,
Right.
while the data scientist is the person that's collecting the data and trying to understand why.
Right, exactly.
It's kind of like when I teach my students in biology, basic science versus technology.
Right.
Technology is taking what they got from basic science and making something practical
Right.
that you can use to make money. For
Yeah.
instance, when they were studying the hearts, they were studying this compound. They were just researching it,
Mm-hmm.
and they found that the rats and the humans kept getting erections.
Mm-hmm.
So they were working on a drug for the heart.
Yes.
Right? They were just doing basic science for the heart.
Yes,
So when they started to collect, right? They started to collect data.
Yeah.
They started to collect data, and then they
And
came
next
up
thing
with
you know,
idea.
we got the blue pill.
Now you got Viagra. So Viagra is the product that is making Pfizer billions of dollars.
Exactly. But that was the research, right? What they were.
But the research was over here. The
Them.
product is over here. So
Yeah.
you can either be in the research part, the data science of just collecting the data and then asking questions and then
Exactly.
seeing results, and then you pass the results over to the engineer. The
Yes,
engineer
and they put it
creates something.
into, because when I was at Procter and Gamble, they had a division of their research in terms of, they call upstream and downstream. So
Yeah.
downstream is the people working on the stuff that's going to go into the factory and be made in like a year or so. upstream people are working on things that it'll be 5 years before it sees market. You know,
Yes.
so
Hmm.
that's a kind of the difference between the data scientists. Now, it's not such a stark difference, and it depends on how big the company is and all that. 'Cause
Right.
there's some overlap, and
There's some overlap. Absolutely. Data scientists are making around $127,000.
yeah.
Okay. And lastly, developers.
Right.
So there's developers, whether you be a developer consultant or algorithm developer, like what's the difference between a developer and an engineer? Because it's kind of, I don't know. What's a developer?
Right. So a developer is a computer scientist, a software engineer, right?
Uh,
So they're the ones who their specialty is the computer science. So for me, like, I am data scientist. I know how to write code to do my data science, but my husband is hardcore programmer,
he
right?
does all kinds of coding for everything.
Exactly. So he's the developer. So they would be the ones that would take your model and then figure out how to scale the model, how to put it into production, how to put it into the system of the machinery or the computers or the website or whatever the next level of the interface is concerned, right? So they have to figure out, you give them the model, they got to figure out how to make it work on a big scale to drive the revenue.
Ah.
So
So the engineer is just, and it's a machine learning engineer is their niche. They're in a
yes,
niche.
it's very
Deep
much.
learning is their niche,
Yes,
while a developer is the whole computer and how to scale
exactly.
it
It's
high.
more like involved.
Wow.
I mean, I don't want to say the hardware because it's not, but it's more like that back end kind of stuff to, some stuff that I don't know anything about. But
But
it's about getting the system now, these models, from you building
specific.
them on your computer in your Python notebook or whatever. Now they got to take that and put it, yeah,
For the whole of NASA,
right,
for the
exactly,
whole of
and
Amazon.
make sure that it works like it's designed to work, right? And so
Wow.
that's kind of what the developer is working. So if you come up with an algorithm to make some prediction or they're going to take that and create an app with it,
Mm,
right? And make
yeah.
sure that it has all of the user interface specification and it does everything and all the stuff and works from the front end as well as in the back end with the hardware communicating, all that kind of. So that's what the developer does.
Well, guys, I hope I and these guys make over $100,000 as well. So
Yeah.
like these salaries are high paying salaries. The top cities, New York, California, San Francisco, DC, Seattle, Washington, Boston, Chicago, Dallas, Atlanta. A lot
Yeah.
of these
All
jobs are
cities.
found in those areas. But I know a lot of cities, a lot of states are incorporating artificial intelligence as
Yes,
well.
yes. I was just reading some statistics and they were saying that right now I think they're saying like as far as the large companies are concerned, 30% have already incorporated the artificial intelligence in their everyday running of their system. And they said by next year, by the end of 2024, that number is going to double.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, by the next year, but everybody's going to be having some form of artificial intelligence. So
Yeah. So so start preparing now.
yeah, now it's
Forget to check out Data Doctor on TikTok.
yes,
And
share knowledge free stuff. And there's so much across the internet that nobody has any excuse anymore. And reach out if like kind of want to know which you're not sure which way to go, how to go about it. I'm happy to give advice and whatever. So because I'm always excited if people are decided to take me up on my offer.
yeah,
um
I took you up on my offer, and you came every third Monday.
I
We're
sure did.
here. Listen,
But
guys.
Yeah, so the last two, the director of data science, which is what my role, right? So I'm responsible for setting the strategy, because a lot of companies are like, oh yeah, we know AI, we want AI, but we don't know exactly how. So I'm going to be the one to kind of outline the approach that the company is going to take, and just exactly how they're going to go from no AI to all AI, but it has
Yeah.
to be a strategic plan. And then the lead data scientists, those are the ones who work at those high tech companies like OpenAI and other ventures. So they are in at the cutting edge, and so they have this team, and it's all secretive, and they don't tell people what they're working
Mm,
on until they make a big reveal
yeah.
and stuff.
It worked for ChatGPT. I'm
It's
telling you, it
what
blew up.
yeah, and they're working on stuff right now, I'm sure.
I know. I know.
So, guys, I mean, and the thing is, this stuff is not hard. It's not difficult. It's not impossible. It may seem intimidating as anything that is new, but
Right.
if you systematically decide, you know what, I'm gonna start reading a little bit. And nowadays, it's like there's like videos on YouTube that will
Yeah.
explain things. Then there's Chat GPT or other models. Like any question you have, like you can ask Chat GPT, I want to learn machine learning. Please create an outline or a schedule for me. And it will do that.
Wow.
And it'll give
Wow.
you every step. And then you can take each step and break it down into each in concepts and ask Chat GPT which which concept did I do or whatever, and it'll tell you this is what this means, and it'll give you resources. You can use Bing or Bard or
Or
any of the other,
you.com.
right? And and the thing about it now is like, before, when I was taking Coursera courses, if you had a question, too bad for you, right? Because these are recorded. I mean, there
Right.
was some kind of like a monitoring of the forum, but it was not very helpful. But now you have no excuse. I mean, Khan Academy has their Canmigo chatbot.
Canmigo. It has a chatbot now. Yep. Canmigo.
And so if you have any questions, any concern, doubts, you ask them the thing, and it'll be like your personal tutor.
Your kid's personal tutor as
Yes,
well.
your kid's personal tutor as well.
Listen, guys, we have it's open access. It's open access. It's like before they restricted us from this stuff.
Right.
Now they've convinced many of us that we don't need it,
Yeah. Or that we can't do it or
or we
whatever it is.
can't do it, or it's not necessary. It's open access.
Yeah.
Forget don't remember my book Phenomenal STEMIS is on Amazon.
Yes. Yes.
Listen, we have to prepare our children for the future. We have to prepare ourselves.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going on free code camp next year. That is my
Your
resolution.
2024 goal, right?
Yeah, I'm going to learn to code specifically in the context of data analysis and
Yeah,
health
we all like
disparity.
upskilling, because I'm learning cloud computing, cloud technology. So you never run out.
Upskill. It's never too late.
Can't stand still. So keep
Yeah, yeah.
going, keep doing, reach out. I talk about when I was in grad school and I crashed it. I wish I had people that I could have talked to. Listen, you have us, or we could put you onto resources, or we can give you that motivation that you need, or whatever it is. So
You can do it.
come
You
on,
can
do
do
it. I
it.
love
Yep.
to hear that somebody listened to this podcast and they made a decision. They went online, they signed up for one of the courses, they took it, they completed it, they got their certificate, and then they got a big job.
We want to hear it.
We do.
We want to hear it. That's what we want to hear. That's what we took the time, hour of our day,
Yes,
to
to
come
do
out
this.
here to do this for you.
Exactly.
So I hope this is a motivation for you. I hope somebody out there will take interest in what I really really believe is the future.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so I want us to be involved in it. I don't want us to be left out.
Right.
And so we're doing what we can to give you ideas on how to not let yourselves or your children or your children's children
Behind.
to be left behind. I am the phenomenal STEMist, and
And
so is she.
that's right.
Good night, everybody.